Happy Football Friday, everybody. Nathan Zagura with you. Bo Bishop joining hour number 2. Gibbe along for the ride, but we are going to start today's show in spectacular fashion. That's right. We are going to the Twisted Tea Hotline, brought to you by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, an official sponsor of the Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. We bring in a man who loves football, a man who has a tremendous zest for life and a zest for linebacker play. We welcome in Browns linebacker coach and great friend of the show, Jason Tarver. Coach, how are you today?
Doing great.
Well, thank you for being with us here. Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. Great to hear your voice as always.
Thank you. It's great to have my voice at least mostly back after a little bit of a rough week for me, but ready to go, as they say. It's next man up, and nowhere has that been more true than for you in your room. I mean, you think about coming into the season, the top 4 linebackers were going to be Anthony Walker, Jacob Phillips, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Sione Takitaki. All 4 are currently on injured reserve for you, Coach. You brought in a veteran, Deion Jones. Tony Fields has stepped up. Kanashik has stepped up. You know, you're bringing Reggie Ragland, Jermaine Carter. What's it been like? Is this one of the craziest years for you in your coaching tenure in terms of injuries?
Yeah, when you say next man up, that's what we're living. But I've been impressed. Our guys just work, and they're fun to be around, and they're working together and helping each other. So
yeah, they are.
What's great progress?
Speaking of progress, we'll get to Deion Jones in a second, but what about Tony Fields? You know, he had that great game against the Houston Texans, the pick 6, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. Last week, a career-high 6 tackles in the game against the Ravens. How has our 5th-round pick from 2021 progressed, and what's made him become really an effective member of this defense?
Tony's learned how to go one play at a time, which sounds easier than it is, and he's really listened and taken feedback, and that's allowed him to stay in the moment. He makes adjustments now to things that happened. He wasn't perfect in the first drive, for example, last week, but then when things happened again, he was in better and better spots throughout the game.
How about Deion Jones? You know, he was a Pro Bowler in 2017. He's got 500 tackle seasons. He's come in, you know, really debuted against Baltimore in Week 7. In his 8 games here, 2.5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 32 tackles, 3 passes defense, and interception against the Bengals. I mean, his 2.5 sacks are second on the team, tied for second with Taven Bryan, which is just a wild stat when you really think about it. But what has Debo kind of brought to it? And now he's a guy who you have out there basically every snap.
Yeah, he's gotten more and more comfortable. He had been on IR, so he didn't have a lot of practice time until he got here. But he knows the scheme, and you can just see him become more and more confident. One of the things that we work on together is setting his feet at the top of drops. He's incredibly quick, and he feels the pass game really well.
Yep.
So his ability to, when he sets up to break when quarterback throws, is just even getting better.
Yeah, and it's fun to see. We mentioned the interception. He had a pass defense last week. How about his sacks, though? Did you realize he was such a good blitzer, and what's made him so effective getting to the quarterback?
Well, he when he runs, he knows he has a great feel for bodies and how people move around him, and he's quick, so he can slip and slide through things. And he can, in space, he can really close ground. So a couple of the sacks have been him closing ground, like the one last week. The quarterback tried to get out of the pocket, and he ran him down, which was awesome.
He did. Tyler Huntley's not going to forget that. I got to tell you, Reggie Ragland, when I saw him, I almost did a triple take. He is a mountain of a man, a guy who's played a lot of football, 47 starts in the league, almost 300 career tackles. Is he somebody that we're going to see more of as this season goes on, the former early round pick out of Alabama?
It's not easy when you move to a new organization or you come off one team to a practice squad, even when you're a veteran. So Reggie's been impressive, especially this week in practice. It's like learning a new language. So he's repeating plays to himself, and this week, which could be a very much running and quick passing game, if they even throw tomorrow.
Yep.
We're going to need him, and we're excited to see what he does.
So let's talk about this game. I know you spent some time out there. By the way, I was watching the Lute Olson documentary on CBS Sports Network, which was reliving some of the great memories of my youth as an Arizona basketball fan. And, of course, it covered one of the great memories you have, but not one of my favorites, when for the first time ever a 15 seed defeated a 2 seed, and that was Santa Clara with Steve Nash defeating the Arizona Wildcats, of course. But you've spent a lot of time out in California. I know you've been here for a while, but this weather has a chance to be a unique one. Is this looking like, if what they're saying is true and what we're experiencing right now, honestly, is true tomorrow, would this be the craziest weather game that you've been a part of?
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be in quite a few. One time we were in pregame at Seattle on Thursday Night Football, and there was so much rain that the field turf was actually rising up.
Oh, my God.
That was wild. Lambeau Field playoff times are wild, but this one with the wind is going to be, because that thing's just going to swirl. Trying to figure out how the wind's going to go is going to be impossible.
You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Coach.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah. Santa Clara, that was awesome. That was the year right before I got there. Steve is a year older than me, so to be able to be there at the time and know him and watch him work was amazing.
Yeah, that was a historic upset at the time right there for the Santa Clara team over the Arizona Wildcats. All right, you mentioned that the weather's going to be crazy, and you also mentioned earlier, they may not throw the ball. And that's possible. Andy Dalton's playing very well for them, but the conditions may be such that they may not throw the ball. And you'd say, well, for some teams, that would be a problem. For the Saints team, they can be really creative. They'll use 2, 3 tight ends. They'll use an extra offensive lineman. Last week, 24 of their 55 snaps, they had Trevor Penning out there, who's a 6'7", 325-pounder, their first-round pick out of northern Iowa. But they've got Taysom Hill. And Taysom Hill is the second leading rusher on their team. He can also throw the ball. We saw that last week through a 68-yard touchdown to Rashid Shaheed. When he's on the field, what challenges does he present? And in a game like this, are we expecting to see, a lot of Taysom Hill at quote-unquote quarterback?
Yeah, I think they do. First, they do a great job using all their personnel, and they have for years. The head coach, Dennis Allen, I was the defense coordinator at the Raiders, so we know him well, Coach Woods and I. And he wants to use everybody who's active to the best of their ability in each football game. So that's a challenge. And they sub personnel every play a lot, like you said, with the extra linemen and extra backs and the quarterback. When you're defending number 7, it is 11 on 11 football. What I mean is he can run or he can throw, but you got to have him accounted for on all the quarterback powers and the different runs that they run with him. So they have lots of different ways to attack the defense, different run schemes that can be different on every single play.
Last week we talked about how the Ravens, their offensive style really challenges linebackers. I feel like this one will also, because of Hill, and if they do throw it, they don't have Olave, they don't have our good friend Jarvis Landry. Alvin Kamara out of the backfield is one of the most prolific receiving backs since entering the league in 2017. He's number 1 in running back reception yards, number 2 in receptions, and number 2 in receiving TDs. What challenges do Kamara present? And in a game like this, if they do throw it, it feels likely that he would be one of the top targets in the passing game.
Yeah, and you could see it a little bit on the game last night with not quite the conditions, but you could see Jacksonville basically run bootlegs, and run quick throws.
Yep.
To control the ball as long as they could. So I think in these conditions, that's what the game plans will be. I don't know. I'm not going to tell any secrets about our side, but on their side, definitely, if they can throw it at all, it'll be screens, quick throws, bootlegs, slant flats, what everybody calls lion dragon concepts. It'll be those kind of throws that can be direct and on the line to try to combat the wind.
Right, to not get in the wind. And so we talked about Kamara. They also have Juwan Johnson, who is a former wide receiver converted to tight end. And I'll tell you what, he's been on a tear, Coach. 7 touchdowns. He had 2 last week. 7 receiving touchdowns, all since week 7. Only Travis Kelce has more of the tight end position. It feels like he's a guy that knows how to get open. And then after the catch, he seems to be very dangerous.
The more you watch him on video, you're impressed. He's getting better.
Yeah.
So that is a challenge for our guys. We've taken a look at how he runs routes and in what areas of the field he gets the ball. But he is a vertical target that can go up and get it.
He is, and he has done that effectively. All right, on a lighter note, Coach, for you, and you sound like have you been under the weather a little bit this week? Your voice sounds like mine was a couple days ago.
No, mine's just scratchy because we had our Zoom meetings this morning because we did our meetings online.
Yeah.
And we were talking a lot, and so I wore my voice out in the meetings with the guys.
Listen, we need you for tomorrow, Coach. We're gonna need you to be loud out there in the cold tomorrow. But okay, good. Well, I'm glad that you're feeling okay. All right. Do you have any big Christmas traditions in the Tarver household?
Well, no, our boys they love their stockings still. So no matter how old they get, they both run down to get their stockings. That's pretty.
That's
awesome.
the first thing. So do you have to make sure that there's really good stuff in the stockings? It's not just we're going to get you some stocking stuff because you love the stocking, but it's got to be they want like actual good stuff in the stocking.
Oh yeah, Santa does a good job with that.
Santa's undefeated, Coach, and so are you as a great friend of this program. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time today, and best of luck tomorrow against the Saints. Stay warm down there. Do you have? I know on the bench, people don't realize how effective they are at heating that bench area, but still, be warm down there. Be safe down there, Coach.
Yeah, the heated benches I get for the players, I don't need it.
No, but you got in the area, just
right.
kind of those
we'll be
jet
yelling.
engines that are throwing off that heat. It feels like it keeps kind of like a wall of like 70 degrees down there.
Well, that's awesome, and then our guys do a great job with our heated benches too. So I think our sideline people do a great job for us.
Yes, shout out to Brad Mellon and his great staff there. All right, Coach, you have a great rest of your day. Rest that voice up because we're going to need you hollering to get this defense ready to go out there and shut down the New Orleans Saints tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Glad you feel better. We'll talk to you
soon. All
right,
thank you so much, Coach. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I'll see you tomorrow at the game. When we come back here, we've got a lot going on the program for you today. We've got the game day forecast for you in the next one. Gibbe and I are going to react a little bit to the Jags and the Jets last night. Plus, we've got a very special interview from our community relations department with the Vice President of the Browns Foundation, Renee Harvey, the Vice President of CR, Jenner Takancic. That's coming your way at the bottom of the hour. 2 o'clock, we've got some Guess the Spread, 2:15 over-unders, 2:30, a little segment we like to call The Scores. And, of course, Bo will be in with us for the second hour. Before we take a break, though, real quickly, some roster updates for you from this morning. The Browns have officially activated center Ethan Posick from IR to make room on the roster. They have waived center Greg Mance. The team has also elevated linebacker Tate Davis to the active roster. He will be, of course, featured prominently on special teams. Last week, as a matter of fact, Tate Davis had 3 special teams tackles, so he is excellent at that. All right, so here we go. Getting ready. Browns and the Saints tomorrow, Christmas Eve. Hope everybody's staying warm out there. It is nuts. It reminds me of Hoth. I stole that from Bo from a text earlier, but he was spot on. For those of you who have seen Empire Strikes Back, that's what it feels like right now around Cleveland. So everybody be safe out there, and we'll be back with more Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, coming soon to Ohio. There's a new way to cheer on your Cleveland Browns with the help of your favorite four-legged companion, Barking Backers. Presented by Milk-Bone is the Browns' newest club for pet parents worldwide. Sign up today at barkingbackers.com. Barking Backers, the fan club for dogs. Gibby.
Hi.
First off, Jack Conklin reportedly signed an extension with the Browns, 4 years, $60 million, reported by Adam Schefter. Beat reporters have said that they have gotten confirmation from the team. As you know, with the Browns, until that pen is on the paper, we will not have an official statement on it. But what a great thing for Jack Conklin, who worked so hard to come back from that devastating injury a year ago and has been playing very well for the Browns. In fact, at right tackle, he has become now one of the top pass-blocking tackles in the league this season at Pro Football Focus, Pro Bowl alternate. He's given up just 2 sacks all season and just 12 pressures all season long. He's actually been pretty elite for the Cleveland Browns at that right tackle spot in terms of his pass blocking. Last night, Jags 19-3 over the Jets, and really I think the story was Zach Wilson, how bad he was, but how much it felt like the Jets fans delighted in booing him. It was kind of crazy to watch, Gibby.
Right from the get-go. They were on him. They were booing him. I left the facility last night after the Stefanski show. I think I got in the car about 8:30. And, like, the opening series, you could even hear, like, Ian Eagle was calling the game for national radio, and he's like, this is amazing, but, like, it's his first series, and they're booing him off the field.
And he actually played pretty well the week before. I mean, he threw a great pass that got him in a chance to hit a game-tying field goal. Zerline missed it, but, yeah, like, they were booing if he threw
last night he was trash, though.
Oh, he was awful. I mean, couldn't have been worse.
That game was awful.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. The Jags are good. Unfortunately, I was playing against Evan Ingram in fantasy, so that wasn't great since he probably had the best game of anybody. And, hey, ETN, would you mind getting in the end zone? I was also playing against Lawrence. Would you mind getting in the end zone so he can't just sneak it in? Like,
by the way, he had to leave the game at one point, and I was like, man, I wonder if Z started him.
No, he was in the trade to the Miz.
That's right.
Yeah, but I feel like he didn't score because he was mad that I traded him, and then Trevor Lawrence got that little cheapo quarterback sneak. But it's all right.
Called his own number.
Yeah, Kayla needed that, so that was good for her. Our game day forecast brought to you by Carrier, a partner of the Cleveland Browns. Tomorrow, cloudy with a temperature around 10. Should feel like negative 19 with wind gusts reaching up to 50 miles an hour. Again, if you're going to this game, be smart, be safe. This sounds it sounds crazy out there. So dress warm, come out there and cheer on your Cleveland Browns. But be safe. I think that is first and foremost.
Yeah, don't be drunk guy with your shirt off. Like, I'm not kidding. I was outside today. I had to shovel. It had drifted right in front of the door. Had to get the dogs out. I mean, I was outside for like 10 minutes, and my feet were numb. I mean, it is no joke out there. I think I passed 6 cars between my house and the facility.
Jeez.
I mean, there's nothing. Yeah. It is Hoth.
Yeah.
It is not great out there at all. It's pretty awful. And just like, I've gone. I watched something this morning, one of the local morning shows. Guy had a Miller Lite. I think he poured it. He had a beer of some kind. He poured it into a glass. It took 1 hour to totally freeze the entire thing.
That's with alcohol in there. Wow.
Yeah. Beer slushies, baby. We love it. I used to love those games. Now I'm old, and I'm like, it's going to be brutal tomorrow. We'll see if the windows are open or not tomorrow.
Yeah, it sounds like cooler heads are prevailing, which makes me very happy. As far as keys to the game go, Gibby, why don't you give me a key to this game, and then I'll give you one as well.
Well, I believe it's the same key that I will partake in an hour from now, and it's called Run the Damn Ball. And by that, like, let it be by committee. If we got to run 3 guys out there tomorrow, if Dearness needs to get some carries, if we need to spread it out, so be it. You got Posick back. That offensive line is starting to hum a little bit. Everything's starting to gel around Deshaun Watson. Let Watson run. Let the running backs run. Because at the end of the day, defense doesn't know where you're going in this type of weather, but you do as an offense. Run the ball. Take the time off the clock. Let's get a nice 2-hour and 58-minute game in. And let's go home.
Oh, you're going to run it. There's no doubt. I don't think there's really going to be a choice. You're going to have to run it. I think Watson will be a big part of the run game. I think Chubb, Hunt, Dearness, even Jerome Ford. I think it's going to be all hands on deck, some creative things, getting the receivers the ball, in the run game, giving them an opportunity to carry the ball because this weather's going to be untenable for a drop-back passing game or certainly a vertical passing game, I would think. Maybe you'll take a shot here or there, but it's going to be very, very challenging to throw the ball. So I think you're right. It's about running, and to me, more even kind of maybe a broader category than just running is it's going to be about toughness. This game is going to be about who wants it more, who is willing to just physically deal with the elements, deal with the pain, and know that, a 4-yard play might be a great play. And who's the team that's going to be able to fight for that extra yard? Who's going to be the team that's going to be able to deny their opponent that extra yard? Because I think that team is the team that's going to ultimately win this game. I go back to that Raiders game a couple years ago. They out-physicaled us. They took it to us at the point of attack, and they beat us when you couldn't really throw the ball that day. And so that cannot happen to the Browns in this one. This is a physical Saints team. They could be physical. They got Taysom Hill. So I think the Browns, it's incumbent upon them to match that physicality and play some bully ball. The Browns have to be bullies, and then you got to just take care of the ball. If we don't turn it over, we're going to win this game.
Yeah, because they are going to. I feel confident that we can get a few turnovers, a few takeaways tomorrow. I would say the other like the linebacker position, Coach Tarver, like they had a great week last week, and they've been playing really well. Another big challenge here because they're going to run it. And trying to figure out how to slow down Taysom Hill is going to be the big challenge of the day. And if you can limit him, I think you got a real chance to win this one.
It's going to be on the linebackers, it's going to be on the guys up front, but I think it's also going to be on the corners. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome in the slot, Delpit, John Johnson. And Delpit and John Johnson last week had 18 tackles combined, forced fumble recovery, a pass defense, 2 tackles for loss. I got Garrett. Need those safeties to be big time again. All right, when we come back, we're going to hear from Browns Pro Bowl defensive end. You want to do it right now?
Yeah,
all right, we'll do it right now. Let's do it now then. For the man who made the 3rd straight Pro Bowl, the 4th of his career, 13.5 sacks on the season, 65 pressures. He has been absolutely sensational. Myles Garrett, he was at the podium yesterday.
I don't control the weather. Are we ready? So whatever we got to play in. Strap up. Put your extra sleeves on. Wear your leggings. Whatever you got to do. But you can't be worried about that. You got an opponent ahead. We got to go 1-0.
Is that one of those games you hope the offense goes on nice 14, 16 play drive, chew up about 7 minutes?
I don't want to go out there and make plays. I don't care how cold it is. Whether my fingers hurt or toes cold, whatever it is. We go out there to play the game that we love.
Do you have to get your strength back after not feeling well the past couple of days?
It'll come back. Hopefully the sun comes out and I can get some rays on me. I'll be good.
I know we talked about the other team running the ball every week, but if it's a game where they run it a bunch because of the cold, is that something you guys are ready for, or how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, we're ready for it. They're expecting the same thing. It's just victims of circumstance in this case. So both teams are going to be dealing with it, and I think we're both prepared to do what we have to play that kind of game. If we get a lead, they won't have a choice, even with the conditions.
Myles, does a cold day, does it favor the offensive tackle or the defensive end in passing situations, or is that not a
I guess it depends. Sometimes when you get off the ball quick, you end up slipping, and then if you're able to get a good get off and get on that guy's chin, he's going to fall on his ass or he's going to slip. So it just really depends on who gets the good jump initially.
Myles, last 4 games, you guys have been really good at closing games out. 4th quarter, it seems like especially last week. What is it about this defense over the last 4 weeks that you guys have gotten to be such good closers in that regard?
Takeaways early on, and playing with that edge. Once you have that little confidence booster, you see that you're playing complementary with the offense. They're going down, they're scoring points and putting points on the board, and you're going back and forth. It's a natural rhythm that you become accustomed to, and it's easier to go down there and make stops, knowing that they're going to go down and make a big play.
How do you feel about making the Pro Bowl?
I mean, it feels good. I'm never going to take it for granted. I don't care how many times I'm in it. So, I mean, I know Joel has more than me, and I know he's just as grateful or more because all that work, you're just glad that people take it, pay attention to it, and really take it to heart. Because at the end of the day, it's not guaranteed. You might get injured one year, you might not make it. I mean, there's some guys that feel like got snubbed on other teams, and you just never know. So you just be grateful for the privilege to play in the Pro Bowl because it doesn't come around often for a lot of guys.
Keep stacking Pro Bowls like this and continue to have these great seasons. Ultimately, Hall of Fame is what it usually leads to. Do you feel like you're on that track at this point?
Well, in my opinion, I probably should have 5, but it is what it is. But that is definitely the route I think I'm headed if I can continue the pace that I'm on and things that I'm doing. And I'm not saying I'm there yet. I definitely don't have a gold jacket career at the moment. But if I continue what I'm doing, pick up the pace, and keep on, continue to lead and be a good teammate, I think that could be in my future. But I have a long way to go.
Is it going to be strange with this Pro Bowl not actually playing the game? Do you like that idea, or?
What are we supposed to be doing? I need someone to explain that to me because I don't know if we're doing a little dodgeball, if we're doing a little like push the weight, doing military training out there. They got a little obstacle course and whatever. When I first started, it was like, okay, you can hit guys, but it's not too hard. And that last game, it was like I saw someone get down by two-hand touch. So I'm not sure where we're going with that. Maybe it'll come back in the future, but I'm not sure how it's gonna go or how I'll react to it. I guess I'll see when I get there.
It's going to be like a flag football game. That's good.
I mean, that's great for skill guys and quarterbacks and all that, but us D-linemen, we get a little bit left out if it's flag football.
What do you think about Taysom Hill is a runner and then the threat of he might throw it every once in a while?
I mean, we got a big dual threat quarterback in our division here, so he's probably right at home with our comfortability, but he is a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, being able to run between the tackles a little bit more aggressively. And a guy can make throws in the arm. He is very talented, he's very athletic. But I think we have what it takes, just being able to see those guys twice a year, seeing the Huntleys, seeing the Lamars, and even guys like Pickett, who we'll see soon enough, is similar to Taysom. So I think we have what it takes to put a good display on.
Go ahead, man.
With Jarvis coming back, just what did Jarvis mean to this locker room in terms of helping turn things around and change the culture?
I think he was an outstanding leader. He was a great teammate, a wonderful friend, and was unfortunate to see him go. I wasn't happy to see that, but glad to see him back in the building for any reason. I mean, he meant a lot towards the culture, especially on the offensive side of the ball, playing with a swagger and attitude, and always about his business. And it just, you could always tell that it meant a lot to him, and he tried to instill that in others. So I think that goes around the whole organization when you have a guy like that.
How important is it to end the home season on a good note?
It's just good to end the season on a good note, whether it's home or away. You want to end up 1-0. So that's our goal, no matter where we are.
How much more, you mentioned Lamar, seeing Lamar 2 times a year, how much more, since you've come into the league, have quarterbacks kind of being a +1 in the run game become more and more commonplace from where it was, your rookie season early in your career?
It seems like everyone's trying to find someone who can do both. And that's where the game's going. You just have to be able to prepare for it. You have some guys who a little bit different, like Kyle and Lamar, and you have the bigger guys like Josh and Taysom, and you still have your pocket passers, but it seems like they're becoming a dying breed. So it's really becoming like a really multi-layered backfield on what everyone can do, and the threats that you could face from week to week with who's back there, and then you have like multiple guys like Taysom, who's not the starter, but can come in. So seeing all those different threats, you have to be able to make a game plan for each and every one of them and study all of them and give them each the appropriate respect.
You guys, now you have found a guy that can do both. So how exciting is that to think you have one of those guys?
We do have one of those guys. We can do it at a high level, and I mean it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch on the other side, even. When you're on the sideline, when you watch on TV, it's nice to appreciate a guy doing that at such a high level and playing so well. But it's also exciting to be able to attack and take away a guy like that, to impose your will on an offense who's being led by someone who has that level of talent.
All right, that's Browns defensive end Myles Garrett talking at the podium as he gets ready for the Browns and the Saints. And you heard Taysom Hill come up. I think he's going to be a big factor in this game. The Browns have got to be able to shut him down. Rumpke Waste and Recycling is a family-owned and operated company. Whether you join us as a customer or as an employee, you'll be a part of the family. Visit www.rumpke.com to learn more. When we come back, we're going to hear about some of the good that the Browns have done in the community. 10 days of giving this holiday season. That's coming up next here on Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, coming soon to Ohio. 10 days of giving, we told you, so important to the Cleveland Browns, to talk to you all about what the Browns were able to accomplish and what impact they've been able to have on the community this holiday season. Take a listen. I sat down earlier this week with Browns Foundation Vice President Renee Harvey and Vice President of Community Relations, Jenner Takancic. Very happy now to be joined by Jenner Takancic, Vice President of Community Relations for the Cleveland Browns, and Renee Harvey, the Vice President of the Cleveland Browns Foundation. Ladies, it is great to be with both of you. It's the holiday season, and one of the biggest things every year for the Cleveland Browns is the annual 10 Days of Giving that ran from December 6th through the 15th this year. Jenner, what were we trying to accomplish there? What did we accomplish in the 10 Days of Giving?
Well, throughout the entire month of December, there is so much that is happening off the field when it comes to the players and the organization giving back. And over the years, we've designed what we call 10 Days of Giving, as you mentioned, and it's truly just that. For 10 consecutive days, we are making special announcements that celebrate our fans, celebrate the work that's being done by our players, by our coaches, by the team in the local community, and also the integration with some of our corporate partners. So it's really, truly just every day something different, and we're just really excited to always be able to have the opportunity to celebrate that.
Yeah, and it started with day one. Joel Bitonio was named the Browns Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee, and what has it meant to have him involved in the community and everything that we're doing? Because I feel like every event that I go to, he's there. And, sometimes you see the young guys, but when you're the longest tenured Brown, you're the 4-time Pro Bowler, and it's still that important to you, I think that's pretty special.
Yeah, to kick off 10 Days of Giving with Joel Bitonio and the big announcement that he is the role model on and off the field. He's always given back and has really created his own legacy for what him and his wife Courtney have done in the local community. So to kick off 10 Days of Giving, we announced that he is the Walter Payton Cleveland Browns Man of the Year, and his range and body of work from giving back through the Cleveland Browns Foundation, through their Stay in the Game network, to A Kid Again who helps terminally ill children, to the adapted football program. I mean, the range of stuff he has been involved with is just really remarkable, and then his support of the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. So we kicked it off with him just in a myriad of different areas that he's focused on in the community.
All of the stuff that the Browns do, it's clear that this is not just a holiday season thing, even though we have the 10 Days of Giving. It's something that's important year-round, and it starts at the very top of our organization with the Haslams. And so I think maybe to give a little perspective on this, Jenner and Renee, why is this so important to this organization? And for you guys who are at the front lines and dealing with this every day, what's been the most gratifying part about it?
I would say the most gratifying part about 10 Days of Giving and just being part of the Cleveland Browns organization is what you said. It starts at the top. Dee, Jimmy, Whitney, and JW, they're incredible owners. And we really want to build a consistently winning football team, but off the field, our fans are so important, and giving back to the community has a laser focus for all of us. And 10 Days of Giving just puts that cherry on top for everything that we want to do and really stand for. So from education to social justice to youth football, we really want to make sure that we are inspiring others, helping others, and maybe through our 10 Days of Giving and creating the awareness that we are, that other people too will want to give back in different ways and do something for the Northeast Ohio region.
Yeah, and Renee, for the Stay in the Game and the Cleveland Browns Foundation, all of that affecting, young people, making sure they're in school so that they can have productive lives later. It's pretty cool.
It is. I think we're really fortunate as employees of the organization that we have owners, to Jenner's point, that are so serious about their impact in the community, not just doing things for optics, but they're very, very serious about making sure that what we do has an impact and drives change. And I don't know that you see that everywhere. And so I do feel that we're very fortunate to be able to do that and to leverage our brand. They really do see the organization as a steward. They see themselves as a steward for this franchise, which is really owned by the community. So excited that we really get the opportunity to do what we can to support others in our community and hope that we can make our entire community stronger.
We've talked a little bit about education. You mentioned social justice. What have the Browns been doing in the social justice arena?
Through social justice, we one of the new programs that we started, or partnerships we started, was with Jumpstart, which is a Cleveland-based organization that really encourages support and development of Black and minority-owned businesses. And we had our fourth and culminating event this year, and this year, and it was in December. And, Dee Haslam was on site, as we mentioned. The ownership is very involved and really wants to truly give back. But through this competition that we had, it was a pitch competition, if you will, and we had presentations and a panel of judges who heard from local businesses who had just completed a 12-week program to really learn learn more about how to develop their business. And one business was awarded $10,000. And just to see the delight and the excitement for this winner, and then all the other recipients who also got a cash prize as well to help with their business, it was really rewarding. And we really just want to make sure we're helping companies and organizations thrive in our local market.
Then we talked about youth football as well, kind of what's happened this year and what strides have happened in youth football. How'd the season go and what have we accomplished?
Yeah, one of our primary focuses for the Cleveland Browns is to lead the advancement of youth and high school football. So during 10 Days of Giving, we were really proud to announce to the Lou Groza Titans youth football program that we provide them with all brand new helmets for the upcoming season. So that was really fun for the families involved, because, you know, putting on that shiny new helmet to start your football season is always really special. And, you know, and there was a shortage for helmets across the country, you know, just from a production. So to be able to give that and help them prepare for the season was great. And then in addition, we have our Coach of the Year program, which is, you know, we recognize 10 different coaches throughout the year as our Coach of the Week recipients. And we were able to announce, you know, who our Coach of the Year was, and we're really proud to have recognized head coach of St. Ignatius, Coach Kyle. He just finished his legacy career, if you will.
Hall of Fame career,
Not only has he, you know, led a lot of winning teams, but he has truly inspired scholar athletes and really, really, truly helped develop and continues to help develop football at the youth level and throughout. So I'm really proud to have him as the Cleveland Browns representative. And of course, there were so many deserving coaches that were part of the selection process. But as we know, only one could win.
That's right. And certainly, as you mentioned, an illustrious Hall of Fame career. There might not be another one like Coach Kyle in the Cleveland area. All right, so 2022 comes to a close. We had the 10 Days of Giving, a great success there. And I know you guys are on to 2023 now. So,
yes.
Renee, I'll start with you. How do we take the next step? What are the goals for 2023 for the Cleveland Browns Foundation?
Great question. So we have 17 school districts currently in network, and our goal is to increase by hopefully at least 10 districts. This continues to be an issue in terms of addressing barriers to attendance. So we hope to grow and gain more partners in the work. And we're really starting to gain momentum and changing that mindset shift that we need to see so that it's a positive conversation around attendance instead of negative. So really excited for things ahead.
All right, and in the community, Jenner.
Yeah, and in the community, I think we'll always be here to support our players in the organization and the community for how we can give back. As we round up the holiday season here, you know, it's really nice to see. I think the whole area back where we sit is just full of gifts because so many players and coaches and teammates were supporting families through Adopt a Family. And to know that that spirit of generosity will continue into 2023 is something we're really looking forward to. We will continue to help support education, as Renee mentioned, youth football, high school football, social justice programming, and really inspire everyone to just give back, whether they live here in the Cleveland market or across the country or internationally. There is a way that we can all make a difference, and we hope everyone makes a commitment to do that in the new year.
How could they do it if they're listening and they say, you know what, you've moved me.
Yes.
I'd like to get involved.
Yes.
What would be the easiest way to do that?
I would definitely say there's a couple steps you can take. First, follow us at clevelandbrowns.com on the website. That's where you can find all of the more in-depth information that you need. We also have social media accounts. We have @BrownsGiveBack, which is Twitter as well as Instagram, and then we're also on Facebook. And if you're really interested specifically in youth football, follow Browns Youth FB on Twitter, and you'll see everything that's up and coming. And we hope you join us and really do what you can to give back.
Well, we certainly appreciate all the work that you both do and that this organization does. So, Jenner, Renee, thank you so much for the time. Happy holidays, and go Browns.
Go Browns.
Appreciate it.
All right. And that's the stuff that, you know, we all care about so much about what's going on clearly on the football field, right? And justifiably so. But this is something that this organization does, and it comes right.
Do you want to be up?
It's been so important for them to give back part of this community and to make it better than they found it. And I think that is something that they do that is very special, and it's something they do that is very admirable. And it's one of those things that makes you very proud to be a part of the organization when you know they're out there doing things like that and getting involved to the degree that they are. So awesome stuff there. Kudos and good work there from Jenner and Renee, and good words there, and something, again, to be proud of for our football team and in this community, making a difference every holiday season for people that need it. And it's not just the holidays, it's year round, making sure kids get to school, making sure that, you know, they're eliminating or working to eliminate the digital divide, to give every child, you know, the best access to a successful life that they possibly can. And I think that's something very important, and it's something that is very special, and it's something that certainly is not lost on me after, you know, a decade with the Cleveland Browns, that is a priority. It is expected of everybody to be involved, to give 10, and to go above and beyond that every single year, and to see, all the gifts that were in our building for families, from players, from staff members, coaches, from, and then we had our giving tree that we got to be a part of. It was awesome. It warms the heart. So awesome stuff there. Very happy to see it, and excited about that. I'm also excited about the second hour of the show because we've got all of your favorites.
Boy.
All of your favorites crammed into 1 hour. We've got Guess the Lines, we've got over-unders, we've got the scores, and I've done a good job, Gibbe, because I know you always put the scores in at the bottom, so I have not even looked at the scores because I don't want any
That was a great job
semblance.
by you. I did not think of that when we put this together today.
Well, once I saw that you had the Guess the Line still was going to happen at 2, I didn't go beyond. I knew the scores were 2:30. I didn't need to see it to know that the scores were at 2:30, so I didn't even bother to go look because
it's going to be
I don't
an
want to
hour,
see.
kids. It's our Christmas gift to you.
It is our Christmas gift to you. Help you pay for those Christmas gifts. Hopefully, that's the goal here. Anyway, I think we did a good job last week. I'll have to go tally that up right now. But Bo will be with us. We'll be back. Hour number 2 of Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet.
from the frozen tundra, kids. Second hour.
You're up.
Azalea, Merely Bo, the great Z. What a power hour this is. We've got guess the spreads, over-unders, and then the scores. It's all you'd ever want in life.
It's pure joy.
It's our
It
Christmas
feels very
gift.
apropos for Christmas. Yeah, this is an early Christmas gift for the people. And Gibbe, knowing Gibbe as well as I do, Bo, in the rundown you'll see that it says guess the lines at 2 o'clock. So I got all excited, and I knew right there. I said, I know it's coming at 2:30. I can't even scroll down anymore because, of course, he's going to put the spreads right into the same rundown on the same page that he says guess the spreads. So fortunately, I was prepared for Gibbe, and I avoided it.
Some of us did have to come into the office today.
Gibby's brain is frozen like all of everyone's extremities. I mean, that's where we're at. Like Buddy Garrity this morning, when I took him out at like 6 a.m., was kind of up for it, and then he only went one, and I was looking for a number two, as that was really the sweet spot I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Was not crazy about it. The second time I went to take him out like an hour later, my guy, one step, right back in. I'm good, Dad. I'll see you on down the road.
Yeah, Asa went out, and she at first, once the garage went up, and all of a sudden the snow blows in at her, and she's like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "Nick, come on, you gotta go." So she goes out there, and she gave me one just like you, and I'm like, "No, you gotta go poopy. Like, you gotta go." Sorry, I hate to say it, but you gotta go. So she ran around the corner of the house. I'm convinced she like fake squatted and ran right back in. It was like, I did it. See,
Dad.
Whatever counts. It counts.
How
about you, Gibby?
I was going to say my little one was definitely having no part of it, except she wanted to play in it, and then like in the backyard, all the way in the back, she starts lifting her paws like, "Ow, cold," and I'm like, "I am not carrying you back. You are 60 pounds." Oliver, meanwhile, is like, I will hold it for 2 or 3 days, and the boy can hold it.
Yeah,
and he's like,
God
I'm
bless
going
him.
once. Although he did run out later on. I took him back out. He sprinted out. He might have been on a dead run before he was finished with the number 2 running back and looking like he did when we got him 10 years ago. Like, I'm like, where did that speed come from?
And they're in fur coats.
They're in fur coats.
Yeah, some of those fur coats aren't great.
Yeah. This is not for the faint of heart, kids. Be safe out there, and we're having fun with pets, but my God, get yours in, obviously. And if you see stray dogs, cats, Humane Society, call those numbers and look out for your fellow man and beast, because it is absolutely biblical out there with what we're seeing today and into tomorrow. I should remind you that OBM is the official printer partner of your Cleveland Browns. So you depend on your Browns to win, you can depend on OBM. They'll tackle any size office. The number there, of course, is 216-485-2000, or visit OhioBusinessMachines.com. Well, I guess we should do it. Let's guess the lines, old friend. What say you?
Let's do it. I'm riding the heater. I'm out of my element. I don't have my pen and my paper. I'm going to have to just go off the top of my head. But I think my theories of late have been pretty good. Stay on the important numbers. It has been
an incredible stretch for you. I think you got it sorted. I think that's where we are with this.
We'll
All
see.
right, so let's start. Obviously, you nailed the one from. Or no, we did not get the one from last week.
No, big miss. We're 0-1.
But the scores did treat you well. You're welcome.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, some guy on the thing was like, "I missed the show. What did you guys pick?" And I wrote Jets.
Right.
Huge. And then I put like the eye roll emoji.
Right.
And then I was like, that is the wink wink Thursday night. Like, as in not the Jets. So
that's right.
Hopefully he got
Hopefully that. Well, I mean, we only do Thursdays for our closest listeners, our best friends.
That's right.
That's who get those. All right, you ready for this?
Yep.
New Orleans at us. New Orleans at us.
That's got to be – that feels Browns -3.
Nailed it. Yeah, that was it. Some of the craziest over-unders you'll ever see here. Cincinnati at New England. Cincinnati at New England.
They're one of the 6 that are having weather drama.
This feels
weekend.
Vegas. This feels Vegas zone to me.
And if it sounds like I'm trying to throw Zagura for a loop, I am.
Cincinnati -5.
Oh, Cincinnati -3.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
Bills at Bears. Bills at Bears. In what is probably the coldest air temp of all. And we're brutal,
Correct.
but they're another level.
Philly was 9 last week at Chicago. I feel like the Bills would have to be considered to be in the same vein. So I'm going to go 9. That gets me to 10 or to 8. I'm going to go 9.
Smart job, private school. It was 8. Good job out of you.
Good.
That's a win,
Okay.
dog. Houston at Tennessee. Houston Texans at Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee minus 4.5.
No quarterback.
Oh, just
No.
missed it. -3.
Ah.
Tennessee -3.
Love to see it.
Did that change? I wonder if that changed with
I don't-
Tannehill.
I don't know. I
I'm
just
sure
looked
it
at him
did.
yesterday. It was the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I was trying to help you there.
Seattle at Kansas City. Seattle.
Kansas
at
City,
Kansas City.
minus 9.
Got it. Kansas City -10.
Okay.
Good job out of you. Giants at Vikings. Giants at Vikings. We're outdoors in Minnesota. It'll be -17 air temp, but indoors a balmy 70 degrees. And still.
By the way, their whiteout's a bunch of bull.
That is a bunch of bullarchy. I saw that. I can't believe they teased that and then didn't deliver.
Where's the white helmet?
I don't know. They teased it. We saw it. And
Where's
then
the whited out numbers with just a purple outline? This is just their normal whites.
It's just their normal white uniform. Like, at the very least, put a white face mask on the helmet. At the very least, like,
No, you got to get a white helmet.
of course you would do the white helmet. I don't know why they didn't do it.
I was all excited about that. Now I'm not.
Yeah. Well, now it's
okay,
just an
anyway.
away uniform. So give me a break. It's nothing.
Minnesota at home against who?
New York Football Giants.
And they don't like the Giants.
Hate them.
Vikings -5.
Got it. Vikings -4.
What's his record right now?
He's 4-3. 4-3.
Oh,
Okay.
Detroit
yikes.
at Carolina. Detroit at Carolina.
Trap game?
Detroit -2.
Got it.
Let's go. That was a big one.
Carolina Detroit -2.5.
That was a big one.
Atlanta at Baltimore. Atlanta Falcons at Baltimore, gentlemen.
Desmond Ridder at Tyler Huntley.
No.
Man, I feel like it's weird. I know I'm saying 3s and 7s, but it feels like a lot of these are not quite a 7, but not a 3. This feels like it's got to be higher than I think, though. Baltimore, if I go 6, that gets me to 7 still. Baltimore -6.
Got it. Baltimore -6.5.
Wow. Okay.
Washington at San Francisco, the Fighting Pedros.
Commies Pedros. That's
Commies
how
Niners.
they tease it.
Niners -7.
Nailed it. Niners -6.5.
Dude, let's
Philly
go.
at Dallas. Philly with Gardner Minshew at Dallas. Minshew Mania.
Dallas -1.5.
Dallas -4.5.
Excuse me?
That's right.
I was thinking of still having Philly be favored.
Yeah. Vegas at Pittsburgh. Vegas at Pittsburgh.
That's a Christmas Eve night, cold at Pittsburgh. Biff. Hot
Do they
dog
get wind
water.
here like we do?
What's that?
Gibbe? Do they get wind there like we do?
Oh, yeah.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Pittsburgh -2.
Got it. Pittsburgh -2.5. Let's go. Green Bay at Miami. Green Bay is still hanging on for their playoff lives.
1 o'clock
Miami
Christmas
losers,
Day, the
losers of
only
3
game,
straight.
the only game worth watching on Christmas Day.
Miami
Yeah.
-4.
Miami -3.5. Good job out of you.
Let's go.
Denver at just ram it.
Ugh.
So this is Brett Rippin, Baker Mayfield
No,
experience.
Russ is back.
Oh, Russ is back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That changes
Broncos country. Let's ride. I would have felt better with Brett Rippin, honestly.
Denver -3.
Got it. Denver -2.5.
God.
Unbelievable.
Nance and
What a
Romo were
stretch.
making fun of that game last week, and they got to do that
Yeah.
game.
Now they're doing it. Bucks at Arizona. Rumors, Kingsbury, they might just say, that's enough, pal. We'll see on down the road.
I like how
and eat the
Kingsbury
contract.
already has out there, like, I might just leave.
Yeah.
I might leave. Well,
I might
no,
leave.
they're throwing you out.
Yeah. Well, get your money. You just signed a contract extension.
Arizona at Tampa?
No, Tampa at Arizona.
Tampa against Trace McSorley. Tom Brady against Trace McSorley.
That's right.
Tampa -7.
Got it. Tampa
What?
-7.5.
I didn't think I was getting that. I thought I was way too high.
Is this the best? Is this the best one?
This is his. I mean, he's 11-4. This would be the record. If he 12-4 has never been done. Chargers at Indy. He's gotten progressively better every week.
Yeah, I know.
I do think it's all even. All of them are getting much more manageable, and I think the weather this weekend is keeping them all in a pretty decent zone.
Tight zone, yeah. Chargers at Indy. Nick Foles. Chargers -3.
Chargers. You missed that one. Chargers -4.5.
Ooh, okay. Very happy. Very pleased.
Yep. Good job out of you.
Yeah, but you didn't get to 12.
An 11-5 mark. An 11-5 mark. It's incredible what's happened here for you in this. It truly is.
I've gotten a good feeling. I think it's like anything. The more reps you get, the better you get a sense of Vegas.
And it is there. It's interesting how they've used certain teams. Like Kansas City hasn't covered in like 3 out of 4 weeks, and they still throw a 10
Always
spot
10.
on them.
It's always
because
double digits.
People love betting Mahomes, man.
Yep.
It's the Mahomes flex of it all. It's got to be.
Always double digits. The Giants, you have to add a few points to. Dallas, you got to add a few points on their side to them. Yeah. Interesting. No, that felt good. Felt good.
Yeah,
felt
good
good.
job to you. Good job to you. 11-4 on that one. All right, coming up next, coming up a little later, we'll hit you with a wonderful edition of the scores. You get a little preview. Those are your lines for that. You have that to look forward to, which is nice. Coming up next, over-unders where the Hoff has gained ground. That's coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. The Bath Authority can give you that bathroom of your dreams, my friends. They can do it for you in about a day.
Yep.
Take your current bathroom, very ordinary, about a day, custom situation, spa-like situation. That's what they can do for you. The Bath Authority makes it real at a fraction of the cost of competitors as well. They're Cleveland's premier bath and shower remodeler. Experts and factory trained. The installers are ready to go. Very professional. You'll love them. Call now. $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel. It's that easy at 216-220-8399 or go to thebathauthority.com. Tell them that Bo sent you. It's where affordability meets quality. The largest selection of bath projects are all made in the United States. Change your bathroom in a day from outdated to outstanding. Think about this, especially where the temperatures are where they are right now. Acrylic tubs that insulate and keep the heat in. If you need a tub-to-shower conversion, they can do that for you. Superior products with expert installers at thebathauthority.com. All right, it is time for a little over and under your records last week, gentlemen. Get up! 1-4.
Sad. Hate to see it.
Oh, no, I'm back.
For an overall
I'm back.
30. An overall 33. Gibbe had prosperity and then just a 1-9 the last 2 weeks, Gibbe. You had all the momentum in the world. You were in first place. You were 4 games over 500 2 weeks ago, had a 2-game lead in the scores, and then you went 1-9 the last 2 weeks and are now 4 games under 500. Zagura last week was our record holder. We had never had anybody as much as 5 games over 500. Zagura got all the way to 5 games over 500 with a 5-0 week. Back that up with a 1-4 week.
There you go. Where's your Macho Man strut this week, Big Daddy? Nowhere.
The curse of Mach.
I'm still in first place. What are you talking about?
Zagura is 36-34. The Hoff went 2-3, and he is 34-36.
I'm the only one over 500, Gibbe.
Over-unders have never been this hard for anybody.
I'm above you, you're below me.
I believe that's what you said.
I'm over you, you're under me. That's what I said. I'm over you, you're under me.
Yes, you did.
Then I think you followed up with it. It's going to be the night of your life. I'm pretty sure that was involved.
Yeah, that's right.
In the ran as well.
You're darn right.
I will acknowledge, gentlemen, that those of us here at Over Under headquarters had no damn clue what to do with this.
It had to be a real tough one.
Because I don't know what I even looked back on like the 07 Bills-Browns game, but that game wasn't windy. It just snowed like crazy. There weren't
Browns
those gusts.
Raiders from 2020 probably would be close. I don't think there was much throwing in that one.
Yeah. So and then how much? I mean, the actual over/under for this game is 32. So it's one of the lowest in the history of the league. So this is,
yes, it is.
No one's expecting much for fireworks. So with that being said, up first, Zagura. Chubb plus Hunt, total yards. Chubb plus Hunt, 105.5.
Over. Way over. Running backs alone have more than 150 total yards in each of the last 2 games against this team in decent conditions, let alone when they're going to touch it 1,000 times. Over.
What about in Hoth? What is it? What are their stats like in Hoth?
Very good. They're like tauntauns.
As I look outside
look what
and
happened to
can't
them.
see the parking lot across the street.
Right.
Sure.
Poor Tauntaun,
Great.
man. The Tauntaun the guts came out. Luke had to live in it.
He did, but he did. He lived in it.
All the way.
Over.
Run
All right.
the damn ball.
I don't know what else you can do, kids. Next.
Over.
By the way,
under.
I'm like, let's just do a nice 2-minute, 2-hour, 58-minute game. Running clock, just run the ball. Let's get in, let's get out. I got McDonald's waiting for me for Christmas Eve.
That's right. Well, so that gets us to our next one, Gibby, and this one is for you because I have a sneaking suspicion that that's what New Orleans is going to do. And so that brings us to Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill, total yards accounted for from scrimmage, 100.5.
So you're counting his passing yards?
Passing yards and rushing yards and receiving yards.
Under. I still think that Dalton can make plays. And for those that don't think that he can't, remember that he has played us numerous times. in bad
the
weather.
criticism of him was always that when he was in his prime in Cincinnati was that when the wind blew in Cincinnati late in the year, he could not drive the ball through the wind. That was always the criticism of him in Cincinnati.
I just feel will he be close? Yes, but he will not go over.
I'm going to go under as well because I don't think he's going to get a lot of passing yards. So he's only run for more than 100 once. He's not going to be a factor receiving, really. He's only averaging about 20 yards passing a game anyway. Now, last week he would have gone over. The team, though, the Saints are 3-0 this year when Taysom Hill has 9 or more rushes. His best rushing game was back in Week 5 when he went against the Seahawks. He ran for 9 times for 112 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also threw a passing touchdown that week. He was quite incredible in that one. But I'm going to go under here. I think that he's going to get a lot of work, but I don't think it's going to be 100 yards worth of work.
All right, very good. Next.
Over or under?
Deshaun Watson pass attempts. Zagura, Deshaun Watson pass attempts. 18.5.
Under.
Gibby?
I want to go under, but every time we think that this is just going to be run, in my head I go, maybe we're going to start throwing it a little bit as well. Over.
All right, over for Gibby, our first difference. Next!
Over or under?
Sacks and interceptions and fumbles, sacks and turnovers. The number this week, again, this is tricky, 3.5. Gibby. Sacks and turnovers, 3.5.
Miles is coming off.
You
of
literally have
illness.
not gotten this once, I don't think, all year.
I think I have to go over. I think if we go over, we win handsomely.
I'm going to go under. And maybe I'm just overestimating
Fine,
this
go
weather.
ahead and
but
hate. It's fine.
I don't feel like there's going to be a ton of passing, so I think we could get 2-3 turnovers. But I just don't know how many opportunities there really will be for sacks.
What about fumbles?
Yeah,
need
fumbles,
4,
sure.
though.
I said 3 turnovers. Fumbles are turnovers.
Yeah, you need
3
of them.
Sacks and turnovers.
I know.
One
I'm saying I
sack.
don't know that there's going to be sacks.
I think there will be.
We'll see. Next!
Fine, I'm going to gain 2.
or
It'll be
under?
fine.
All right, this one, because I can't do even numbers on over-unders. The actual over-under on this one is 32. It is the lowest of the week. There are several in the 30s, but this one is indeed the lowest around the league. I went even lower. I went 31.5 because I don't like round numbers. Zagura, 31.5, the over-under.
Under. I think it's going to be hard to make field goals. I think it's going to be hard to score points. I'm going to go with the under.
Give it.
I'd rather it go over, to be honest with you.
Could be staring down the barrel of an 18-3.
Yeah.
Or a 14-3.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go under, but just barely.
All right, so 2 difference. We'll get our details to the Hoff. I think it's this. I don't know what the hell to expect, fellas. I mean, truly.
Nope.
I don't know. I don't know. If it's like it is today, if it's 80% of what it is today, I don't know how you could execute much of anything. It feels like you just run like read option left, read option right with Deshaun. And
that's what it feels like to me. I think he's gonna have his season high in rushing attempts and rushing yards. I think that I think you're gonna just try to grind this out, honestly.
Yeah, like get a score and that's it, and keep the clock moving. Be like little guy football, running clock, guys, running clock.
Yeah,
keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
All right. There's nothing quite like tailgating touchdowns and Twisted Tea. It tastes just like real iced tea, and you know why? Because it is. It's made with real brewed tea, cool, refreshing, and a 5% kick of alcohol. It's thirst down and gold Twisted Tea, hard iced tea. Keep it twisted, kids. Coming up next, a little thing we like to refer to as the scores. You're listening to Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, coming soon to Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. list. Get a little help getting back in the game. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk & Elk's a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for a little segment we like to call Attention to the Scores, and we're sponsored by our great friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. What a perfect occasion to visit your local Buffalo Wild Wings.
And Buffalo Wild Wings, they did a little food drop. Sorry y'all missed it.
Oh, give it.
Good news. The video
Outrageous.
guys got food at least. So,
Big Drew. God bless him.
yeah, everybody got
God bless
food,
him.
which was a huge plus. And I got
Connor with the K, all of them.
More importantly, I got the talking point. Score a free appetizer with $20 or more purchase when the Browns get 2 or more sacks in a game during the Browns' 2022 regular season. Offer available 1 hour after each qualifying game through 1 day after each qualifying game at participating Northeast Ohio locations. Shout out to B-Dubs. They are taking care of us for every Friday for the rest of the season.
Good job out of them. Very good. Yeah. All right, Z, where were we last week, buddy? How'd we do?
Well, we bounced back like only we know how to. You can't keep a good man down. After our struggles, our well-documented struggles in Week 14 last week, Bo roars back 10-6.
Let's
Z
go.
better 9-7. We are both now 35 games over 500, both of us, for a combined 70 on the season. You're welcome.
Enjoy the Christmas we provided for the family. All the presents under the tree. You're welcome.
And I can't even partake in this.
The presents?
No, I'm saying in being able to. I've partaken in the presents. Look at the trees already ready to go here.
Oh, you're locked in.
Let's see.
It's Festivus for the rest of us. God,
There
look
we
at
go.
you. We're wrapped and ready over there.
Wrapped and ready, baby.
Good job.
Yeah, but I'm saying because as an NFL employee, we cannot
Yeah.
partake in like I can't actually profit off of our great insights.
Well, guess who will starting in 8 days?
You. That's a great evil laugh.
Oh boy, what a crazy week, man! The scores are nuts. This is a weird one to look at, Gibby. It really is.
It is. It is Week 16 in the National Football League, and we get right down to it. Baltimore. I'm assuming Baltimore is going to get this weather, too. Is Baltimore part of this whole weather
They are.
system?
Yeah, they got it.
The Ratbirds, no Lamar Jackson for the third consecutive week. By the way, this seems to be a pattern here where he doesn't play in November and December.
Did you see the Lock and Fora report, by the way? In the
No.
Washington Post? That headed toward trade.
Really?
That it's so acrimonious between them and him that the odds of him being traded are very likely. Now, that could
Jets.
just be leaked.
Send him to the Jets.
No, send him to the NFC.
Let's go. Yeah, send him to the
Well,
NFC.
fine, but the Jets fans were so mean to Zach Wilson last night. It was unbelievable to watch that.
What
I mean, he
you
was
saw-
terrible.
He's terrible. He's done, though. I mean, he's cooked.
Cooked.
Cooked goose, baby. They've
Cooked.
wrecked 2 of them. Think of that. Darnold and him, 4th and 2nd overall?
Yeah. Wasn't Darnold second?
Was Darnold second, or was he second? Maybe
Yeah.
he was. Maybe they were
Yeah,
both
it was
second
after
overall.
Baker.
Because we
He
had
was number
first and
2.
fourth.
Oh, that's right. We were 1 and 4. That's right. So he went 2. Jeez. Back second overall. By the way, like how in the hell did anybody remember how stupefied we were by Zach Wilson? Like it was like you couldn't even, and I remember saying this on our show. You couldn't even, are we sure we can't debate that he's the second best quarterback? We can't have a conversation around it?
Gibbs's boy Chris Sims said
Yeah.
he was not the second best quarterback, that he was the best quarterback in that draft class, better than Trevor Lawrence.
Sims has a history of that, Gibby's boy, of saying those things at the combine and then holding firm with them stubbornly. And it's not aging well, brother, for him with this stuff.
No.
No.
Meanwhile, I'm fairly confident you had this from day one.
Yeah.
You,
Lawrence was the guy, but Fields should have been second.
That's why I remember we were like, why is it just a foregone conclusion
Yes.
that this guy's going number 2? It's not like this was, Luck and RG3 where there
No.
was a debate on who could go 1. It was like, this guy's 1, but I don't understand why this guy's number 2.
Who's beyond reproach. You couldn't
Beyond
even have
reproach.
a conversation.
They had made up
he's
their
going
minds.
2. Wait, why? What? Because of a combine throw?
By the way, Lock and
Crazy.
Flora also made it sound like that
The lobster.
The Jets aren't happy with Saleh.
That seems crazy to me.
It seems insane to me. Which also, you missed yesterday, a great CBD moment that then continued on the coach's show. It is Gerard Cherry's belief. This is his belief. I'm not even going to, and if I'm leading or exaggerating, correct me, but it is Gerard Cherry's belief that Robert Saleh, at the behest of the Jets, fabricated the entire Mike White injury, that Mike White is capable of playing, and this was done so that they could reinstate Zach Wilson, which I pushed back on considerably and said that, we're making up now injuries, and he's gone to 10 doctors who didn't clear him, and this is, where are we saying, medical malpractice, and that they want – I don't think anybody
Gerard's
there wants
response
Zach Wilson
was,
to play.
If he wants to play, he can play.
That's what Gerard said.
If who wants to play?
Mike White.
Didn't
Mike White wanted to play, he'd be playing.
Wanted to play, he'd be playing.
Oh, no, I can't buy that. So he thinks it's Mike White's decision to not play? Mike White could play himself to be the starting quarterback.
He thinks it's Saleh's decision. Yeah. This was done to get Zach Wilson back in.
Yep. By telling the rest of the team that, he's hurt, you got to go back to this guy and you got to support him.
In light of the Brian Flores stuff, that doesn't seem like something that we would be doing.
No. The guy went to 10 doctors, independent doctors, not just team doctors, and none of them
were
would clear him.
They're in the playoff hunt, man.
And they're better with him. Like, Saleh wants to go. That's why I said, Gerard, Gerard, Saleh wants to go to the playoffs. This isn't Bill Belichick. It's not an established coach who can play around. This is a guy trying to make his first playoff appearance as a head coach in the NFL. Like, he's not going to go put in somebody who's worse just because that's who got drafted.
Yeah. Gerard's a good man and thorough, but
Did
I'm
we
not
do
with
that
him on
in the past?
Do what? Do what?
John Paul football?
You guys can walk out on that plank on your own if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm
not
staying
here nice and cozy.
I'm not saying any of that.
Falcons at Ravens. Zagura, you're up first.
Somebody's going to smack Greg Roman upside his head and say, listen, Greg, do you see how well we're running the ball?
Yeah.
Let's just keep doing that as opposed to throwing it all the time. I think they're good enough. I watched, obviously, getting ready for this one. The Saints played Atlanta last week. Ritter showed some good things, but that's a team that really can only compete if they are able to run the ball, and they've done it well, but that Baltimore defense is very difficult to run on. I think the Ravens will have enough here, 10-3.
Same but different. I like Baltimore 10-6.
Oh, baby.
10-6.
Up next, guys, we go to more cold weather action. Buffalo on the road this week. Instead of playing at home in Buffalo, they will be going to the Monsters of the Midway. And, boy, the Storm of the Midway. Chicago playing host to Buffalo. Bo Bishop.
Yeah, I think this could be recency bias because I've been out with Buddy Garrity like 6 times today, and so it's possible that I'm overestimating all of this. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of offensive football in any of these games, and I do think Buffalo will go there to win, but I'm sure Justin Fields can run around a little bit and make a couple of plays. He's tough to tackle in space. So I like Buffalo winning the game like 13-7.
Same, exactly the same. I was going to say 8-2.
Yeah, I think I don't know. This could all be recency bias, having been out in it a lot today, but it's colder there and windier there.
Yeah.
Oof.
Up next, the Cincinnati Bengals in control of their own destiny here in the AFC North, and maybe with a little bit more to play for as well here, with plenty of games still to be played, including a big one against Buffalo a week from now. But first, a trip to Foxborough and Bill Belichick. Bengals, Patriots, Zagura.
I think the Patriots stink.
That's
I think that loss was horrific, and I think the Bengals are going to destroy them. Bengals 75, Patriots -4.
Don't forget the bad weather, kids.
I'm with you. I'm with Z on this one. Bad weather be damned. I've been rolling with the Bengals for a while. They've been taking care of me. I think they continue to do so. I think the Patriots are just – I mean, can you imagine them coming back after what happened in Vegas? I can't.
My God.
I like Bengals 17, Patriots -2.
Yes.
To the NFC we go. The Detroit Lions making a playoff push. They've won 3 in a row. They are 7-7 on the year. They are on the road in Carolina to battle the 5-9 Carolina Panthers, who are still alive for the playoffs. Just one game back of Tampa Bay in the NFC South. Bishop.
Yeah, I'm not going against Danny Campbell. There's just no way I can do it. The weather should be fine down there. I think they can continue to get Jamison Williams going. I like Detroit huge in this one, 31-17.
Same, man. I like this Lions team, man. Jared Goff is as good as it gets right now, man. I love it. And they're not getting Jamison really involved as much as I'd like. I'd like him to play a lot more, man.
NFC matchup now. Minnesota is at, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Houston, Tennessee, the Titans struggling, to say the least. They've lost 4 in a row. They are 7-7 on the year. They welcome in the 1-12-1 Houston Texans, losers of 9 in a row. Zagura.
The Texans have fought so hard, and they just have come up short. And I think at some point it just breaks your spirit what's happened Dallas and Kansas City in recent weeks. Tennessee has a chance, and that chance rests solely on their ability to turn around and hand the ball to Derrick Henry and throw the ball to Derrick Henry 40 times a game.
Yep.
And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they realize their only chance of winning is Derrick Henry. I think he's going to touch it 100 times in this game. I think he does enough. Derrick Henry scores 2 touchdowns, runs for 200 yards. They win 14-0.
I'm in a similar vein. I think they could also get Malik Willis running a little bit on some read action, some RPO game, maybe some of that type of stuff, some rollout runs. I like Tennessee in a similar fashion as you. I think it's too much for Houston to overcome. 17-0 Tennessee.
All right, now on to Minnesota. The Vikings, fresh off of that record comeback against the Colts last Saturday. Vikings playing host to a desperate New York Giant football team, struggling to stay in front of the emerging pack, fighting for the NFC wild card.
That's struggling. How many games ahead of them are they?
They're 8-5-1. It's awful close, buddy.
Giants.
Oh, you're saying the Giants.
The Giants struggling, yeah.
The Giants had a big win last week, though, over
Vikings.
Washington.
Over the Commies. They beat the Commies.
Although I will tell you this, I will make that prediction now: the Vikings will lose in the wild card round. I don't think they're great.
We'll see who's in it.
See who they play.
Yeah,
guess who they play.
This could be a preview of it, quite honestly. I mean, it's very much in play.
Bishop, you're up here.
I like Minnesota. I think they come back and get things organized a little bit. I don't think they run away with it, but I could see them winning 27-21.
Buddy Garrity, who's at the back door?
No.
It's Danny Dimes.
No one.
It's Bootsy, and he's wearing a Dan Dimes jersey. Good God.
Bootsy.
Get your
Danny
skin
Dimes.
covered, Bootsy.
Oh, baby. I think that's what his Vikings win, but a little bit of a letdown. No white helmet, no cover. Sorry about that. Vikings 31, Giants, G-Man 28.
It can't be a whiteout if you're just wearing your away uniform.
No.
Agreed. It's insane.
Not a whiteout.
All right, next, Kansas City, the Chiefs, 11-3, trying to maintain pace with Buffalo, hopefully for a Buffalo slip-up. Chiefs playing host to a desperate Seattle Seahawks team, 7-7 on the year. Zagura, I believe this one's you.
I mean, at some point the Chiefs are going to cover one of these, aren't they?
They last did in Week 11. In Week 11, they were...
That's not too long ago.
4 weeks in a row they haven't.
Point favorite over the Rams and covered. They did not cover 2 against Cincinnati. They did not. There was a big one the next week. Where are they in here?
They didn't cover the Texans last week.
Did not cover the Texans. Did not cover the Broncos. Remember they were up.
Yeah, the Broncos, and they were up 27-0.
And didn't cover. Yeah.
No Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett would make me feel a lot better, but Kenneth Walker's back. I think the Chiefs are due to just smush somebody, but I don't know if it happens this week. Chiefs 80, Seahawks 73.
I'm with you all up until I don't. I'm with you. I have the same mentality. Like at some point they go, and they bury somebody, and I think maybe a bit of a wake up call last week in Houston. I like Kansas City 35-17.
I don't know what the weather
You know what?
is
Fine.
there.
I'm in.
That front will
Chiefs.
be long past, so I don't know what that becomes, but from
It'll
a weather
be cold,
standpoint,
but it shouldn't be
yeah.
like this.
Shouldn't be the Arctic.
It is howling outside my door right now. I mean, like,
Yeah. The
trees
fact
are
that we have
swaying.
gone an hour and 45 minutes and no one has lost power is a
No, we're
stunning,
cruising. It's safe.
stunning revelation.
It's safe.
Up next, guys, here we go. Pedro's Commies. 49ers at home, 6-1 on the year. This is a very big one for the Commies. Zagura, we go back to you to start this off.
nerd. Listen, I don't know that. How do you go against Kyle right now? He's red hot. I did see some videos from Washington where they told their guys how they made the Pro Bowl and they had an undrafted free agent who's actually Simsay. That's Simsay's guy.
Oh, really?
Jeremy
Agent
Reeves.
to the
Like,
stars.
Maybe we'll get
those
some gear
videos were so cool. Like, the punter was so excited that he made it. McLaurin was so excited. Everybody's crying. That's emotion. They love Ron Rivera, too. I really felt that was palpable. Niners go out there. They take care of business easy. Nate, an early Christmas gift from Kyle and the boys. Niners, 24. Washington, 18.
Oh, but not exactly the gift that you were hoping for. No, I think it's the full gift. I think it's the full Monty. San Francisco 27, Washington 14.
Oh, baby.
Woo, how is Pedro?
My
now
dad's going to
Pedro
be texting
feeling,
me.
by the
Why
way?
are they giving it to McCaffrey again? Stop giving it to McCaffrey.
Can't believe
Dad,
that guy didn't make the Pro Bowl. Really?
He's unbelievable. It's probably because of the trade. It's craziness.
It's ridiculous.
How's Pedro feeling, by the way?
He's still in the NFC.
I agree. How's Pedro? He's great.
Everything's good? We're back to
He's
normal?
thriving. Yeah, he's thriving.
All right. To the NFC East we go. It is Gardner Minshew, QB1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles on the road, 7-0 on the road. The only unbeaten team on the road, and they are in Big D to battle the Cowboys, 10-4 on the season. Bishop.
Minshew gave an emotional speech at the funeral of his college coach, the great Mike Leach. Minshew plays well. Philly wins outright, 31-24.
Couldn't agree more. I remember when we were had the Eagles here in the preseason and we were going through Minshew's stats. I'm like, how's this guy not starting somewhere?
Yeah, he's good.
He's quite capable. They are quite talented. They are going to beat the Cowboys.
Yep.
All right. This next one has gone from a celebration to a more of a celebration of life as the Pittsburgh Steelers welcome in the Las Vegas Raiders on Christmas Eve. Zagura, what say you?
The Raiders should win this game easily, right? I mean, they're supremely the talented team here. But Franco, the power of that, it's going to be palpable. The Steelers win 21-20.
The Steelers win 3-0.
That is also a distinct possibility based on the weather.
3-0.
For Christmas Day we go. Packers, Dolphins. Packers, a must-win situation for the 6-8 Green Bay Packers in South Beach for Christmas. Dolphins are 8-6. They've lost 3 in a row. Must win all the way around, Bishop.
Yeah, I just Rodgers got to roll a little bit of belief there in Green Bay. I like him going down there and actually getting a win in this one. I think it'll be a good game. I look forward to this one. Green Bay 20. I'm going to go Green Bay 21, Miami 18.
Same.
Middle of the
Ayahuasca's
day.
out of his system.
It's out. Yeah.
He's thriving again.
Middle
He's
of
doing
the
a lot of
day,
hand
I give
signals,
you
though.
the dog game of the week, and it's on Christmas. Denver, 4-10, visiting the 4-10 Los Angeles Rams. Versus Aaron Donald probably out for the rest of the year, by the way.
Yeah, he's done.
Bishop?
Denver 6, Rams 2.
Denver 6, Rams -1 million.
All right, then.
Do you see our boy against Green Bay?
Yeah.
He almost threw like 1,000 picks in that game.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't catch all of them. They caught one. Then they tried to do a lateral. Everybody's lateral crazy right now. But, no. And Denver's defense is quite good.
Denver defense is good, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. They're still not great. Tampa Bay visiting Arizona. Sunday night foosball. You going to wait up all night for that? Maybe. We don't have to work on Monday.
How is this the Christmas game?
They booked these. They couldn't flex any of these.
It's
They've
Tom
been
Brady.
stuck since
It's Tom
in
Brady.
July.
We're going to put Tom Brady on
against
everything.
Kyler.
Yeah.
Brady against Kyler. Russ against Stafford. None of it happened. It's outrageous.
None of it.
Look,
How about the fact
I'm not giving
Brady's the
Tampa
only one
Bay
going?
7.5 on anything. I mean, I think they're terrible. I think they win 13-6, but I don't think they're running away from anybody. And I think Arizona's terrible too.
I'm with you.
They both
I couldn't
suck.
agree anymore.
Yeah.
Arizona's dreadful, though. They scare. I feel like they have a total. Trace McSorley's playing quarterback. They have a total just lay an egg capability here. But I'm with you. I think they'll stay within that 20-13 Bucks.
All right. Very good. We will do our game coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet. Coming soon to Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Maddie, we're losing you? This is it?
This is it.
This is it.
Sad.
Not really
Madison's
sad.
going
It's
to
been so fun working with you
ESPN
guys.
Madison.
I know.
Madison is going to ESPN Madison.
Makes
Fantastic.
sense.
Great drinking
Seems
town.
appropriate.
A good name.
Well, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. We've
out
enjoyed
west.
working with you.
Aw, thanks, guys.
We know a guy who lives there. We actually know two. Just personal friends, Joe Thomas and Luke Fickle. So if you need any help with those two guys,
Perfect. I've
They're
heard
the
of
bring
ones.
them down, or if you feel like that's something you'd want to discuss when you're in ESPN Madison, happy to help. Happy to help.
Oh, awesome,
Good stuff.
guys. Thanks.
All right, we've got our game. Z.
Saints are 0-6 outdoors this year, and that's in normal weather. Browns 14, Saints 0.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Yep. 14's whatever it's going to be. I don't think they score. I I have a hard time even trying to understand what the yardage will look like in this thing.
Same.
But we'll
it's
have
gonna
more.
be wild.
Yeah, going to be a fun one. Good luck on the broadcast, gentlemen. No Cleveland Browns Daily on Monday, so we will be back Tuesday. Have a Merry Christmas out there, everybody.
Yes,
Go
Merry
Brownies.
Christmas.
The next level is coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on ESPN Cleveland.